Ed's point about portals is really key, because we saw that with the funder response to the Grenfell Tower fire that we coordinated in London. So worked with 16 funders, central government, local government, trust foundations, businesses, who collectively gave out £4.5 million over the summer in response to community groups working with people on the ground in North Kensington. And the challenge there was a lot of the things that we've talked about in terms of things that already happened. There was the need for retrospective funding, there was the need to work in different ways that recognised that community groups were working with an issue immediately. They were dealing with immediate trauma. There was no way they were going to fill in 20 different application forms and live in hope that in 6 to 9 months they would get some money. They needed that money then, they needed it to be done effectively and efficiently. And so the portal that we use, I don't think too dissimilar to the work that Ed and Co have been leading on, is community outreach that identified the needs, that then fed a portal that funders could then go on and say, well, under our guidelines we can actually fund retrospectively, so we'll cover that £2,000. Or under our guidelines we can cover a bit of capital, so we'll cover that £1,500. We're okay for a bit of revenue if it's children and young people, so we'll put 20 into that project. And the collaboration happened at that end of the portal. From the point of view of the funded organisation, they only saw one process. They didn't know where that money was coming from, and there was a whole load of politics about why we didn't want people to know where some of that money came from at the time. Just to avoid complicating matters for those charities that were working often with people who had a large amount of distrust in institutions, including some of our members. I think if you can create that kind of environment where you've got the system set up in a way that means that you're sharing it in a way that directs the resources to where they're needed effectively, that was under a GDPR compliant way, but there are always ways of doing it if the will is there, and I think that's the challenge about how we can try and create that will, because with Grenfell there was a huge will to do things differently. There was a willingness to step outside people's comfort zones and get money there because there was an immediate and obvious need to support that community.